Welcome back, everyone. This is Thomas Triple T Ty with another new bullish crypto analysis. Let's dig in and check out the Bitcoin market update. We're back with the fancy slides. This is January the 28th, 2022. The crypto market came in pretty green today. Bitcoin is up 2.16 over the 24 hours. Ethereum is up a tad, 0.13. Overall, pretty green. Luna continues to be red. I'm going to dive into that coin today. It's recently dropped below $50 per coin, and that's unusual. It's been riding up in the 60s, and it's been pretty resilient in this crash, but it's starting to dip further. ADA is red, 1.04. ADA at around $1. It's a fantastic price. If it dips further, great time to buy it. Not financial advice. This is edutainment. Equities market, we have mostly red. A couple of companies in the greens. We have Microsoft, Apple, NVIDIA, Google, Facebook. Tesla's up. Apple's up 4.81. That's fantastic. And then greens in the software applications area. Restaurants in the green. Home improvements in the green. That's Home Depot right there. Lowe's. And credit services is in the green. We have diagnostic and research in the green. Yeah, overall, we have some greens here. Tech sector looks halfway decent, but overall pretty red. According to Cointelegraph, Flushing is a commercial bank in New York, and they will be offering Bitcoin services through their partnership with NYDIG. This Flushing Financial Corporation was founded in 1929, so it's a pretty old bank, and this is a good move for them. Either adopt and adapt or become the blockbuster of yesterday. Nice move. According to The Block, House Representative Committee schedules hearing on stablecoins for February the 8th. There's recent developments where the U.S. government is making moves to put more pressure and control the stablecoins market, and this could do some damage to the DeFi ecosystem if they're based in the U.S. So the House of Representatives will examine the outlook for stablecoin regulation early next month. As many of you know, stablecoin is a way for many exchanges or DEXs to go between. Instead of fiat, which is like USD, they use stablecoins to exchange for other cryptos. We'll see what happens. Ms. Chairman Maxine Waters, Democrat from California, she will be heading this committee. This is something we want to keep an eye on. According to The Block, SEC rejects Fidelity's proposed spot Bitcoin ETF. And this is unfortunate because they allow futures ETF, but not spot. That rationale doesn't make sense. So a potential spot ETF approval by the SEC could bring in new money into the crypto market, and so this is tough. And Fidelity is a very big financial institution. And according to a Crowdfund Insider, SEC approves BSTX to operate the first securities exchange utilizing blockchain technology. This is huge. The current exchanges use very dated software, and having a company utilize blockchain and showing that it can be done will be a big benefit to the crypto industry. And it'd be interesting to see how they can provide data, market data, etc., using the blockchain, and how fast they can move it, and which technology they use. That'd be interesting to monitor as well. And according to Bitcoin Magazine, Brussels Member of Parliament to take full 2022 salary in Bitcoin. I believe this gentleman, Christophe De Beukelaer, I could be totally butchering that name. Sorry, buddy. He's a Brussels Member of Parliament. He is one. I think he's the first one in Europe to make this move. Elsewhere around the world, other people have, especially athletes and mayors in the U.S., have made the move to accept Bitcoin as partial or full form of payment. So, nice job. But be careful. It can be volatile. And according to CNN, Europe could live with less Russian gas, but a complete shutdown could be catastrophic. And this is relating to the potential war with Ukraine. And if some countries in Europe supports the U.S. and NATO because they are part of NATO, that Russia could limit the natural gas flow to them. And current plans are in place to address that. One opportunity is to use the liquefied natural gas and ship them via ships. And those moves have been put in place. And the U.S. is looking at options with other countries to help provide additional output to help Europe, because winter is here, and it's a not a good time to be short on energy to heat homes and provide energy for businesses. So Russia is strategic in their move with Ukraine. According to Decrypt, the plot to hand crypto industry to the big banks is in play. And a lot of people think that the SEC chair Gary Gensler is the architect of some of these things, but no. It turns out that it is Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen and Senator Elizabeth Warren and a few others are appearing to be calling the shots, handling the crypto industry to the banks would be like taking your freedom to do what you want with your money away from you. It's like taking your freedom that, you know, if you live in the US, your freedom of speech and such, like the things that the amendments provide for you. It's like that. It's taking that away from you. And as you know, the banking industry has been a bit of a challenge with customer service as far as what they do with customers, and in some situations, manipulate the market, all the fees and nickel and dimes they charge the customers. So handling a technology like crypto over to the bank, it may not be the best move for your personal financial freedom. It is a detriment to that. Make sure to let your senators, Congress people know. Write to them, call them, email them, do whatever you can. And this is not acceptable. According to CoinDesk, SEC rejects Fidelity's Wise Origin Bitcoin ETF proposal. We talked about this in the previous slide, so I'm not going to cover this again. According to CNN, a key inflation measure rose at the fastest pace in 40 years. And this measure is the energy price. It rose by nearly 30%. So what does this mean? People who are struggling to heat their homes and pay for electricities and gas, well, according to our CPI index, it shows that, inflation is around 7%. No, it's more in the double digits. Realistically, it's between 15 and 20%. But if energy is at 30% and rental costs have increased by 15 to 20%, inflation is not at 7%. That is a manipulated number. So energy at 30%. So think about this. If you're paying for energy, gas, electricity, natural gas, and things like that, and your raise has been like 0.1% or like maybe 1 to 3%, guess what? You've been getting a demotion in your salaries. So we got to tame this inflation down. Oaktree takes control of sprawling Evergrande building project near Shanghai. This Oaktree lent money to different projects for Evergrande, or Evergrande, however you want to pronounce that. So because they defaulted, and this project is a big project. It's the Venice project. It's a very high-end project, and they lend for $400 million to this project, and it was a security loan. So because it was defaulted, they are now taken over, and this would be the first. They would be the first to make a move, and they are a U.S.-based company in California. So we want to continue to monitor this. In total, they loan about $1 billion to 2 Evergrande projects. So for a U.S. company to go in and secure a property in China, that's rare. Oftentimes it's China who comes over to U.S. and buy up land and houses and things like that. So interesting maneuver. Well, they had to because they defaulted. According to Reuters, the dollar is poised for biggest weekly rise in 7 months on rate bets. Well, we've been monitoring that on the charts, and we are seeing that it is climbing at a pretty fast pace. So no surprise there. According to CoinDesk, Bitcoin worth $670 million leaves centralized exchanges after hawkish Fed comments. What does this mean? This means that the supply on exchanges have been reduced, and whoever moved this, or a group, whatever, they're moving it to cold storage, storing it. And when supply on the exchanges is reduced, price could signal a potential price increase. And also, according to Cointelegraph, the first DEX on Internet Computer launches, and others coming soon. Well, Internet Computers protocol, or blockchain, I'm not sure if you remember, they opened in the market at over $600 per coin. And they went down to $50s, $60s per coin. And so I don't like the ICP, sorry. It's overvalued, and it came down to where it should belong. But having a DEX on any blockchain is important, because then you can move and exchange different coins around that. It's part of that ecosystem. So good for them. Additional news from Cointelegraph: Ethereum hash rate scores a new all-time high as proof of stake migration is underway. So you can see on this graph here, currently Ethereum is using proof of work, and similar to Bitcoin. And so the all-time high record for the hash rate means that there are more nodes on the blockchain, helping stabilize it. So that's awesome. And it increases security. According to Crypto Briefing, new SEC proposal could be disaster for DeFi exchanges. So what are they doing? they're looking to expand, the SEC is looking to expand the definition of security exchanges. And in the new proposal, they want to redefine what that is. So they want to say that currently it says, system that match securities orders using traditional order books. They want to expand that definition to any system to allow buyers and sellers to communicate their securities trading interest. So how does that impact crypto? Well, DEX, the decentralized exchanges would need to register, such as Uniswap or SushiSwap, etc. But under the current way that DEXs operate and the way that the SEC want them to comply, it would be very, very difficult to comply because of the nature of decentralized exchanges, because they're decentralized. And by putting that in place, it could push current DeFi DEXs in the US to go out to other countries or cease to exist. Why would they want to do this? Well, under the guise of helping protect customers or consumers, well, this really helps the traditional banking systems. It benefits the big banks. It benefits the current infrastructure that is in place for the current traditional financial systems. That's who it benefits. And guess who have special interest groups to encourage our government officials to move in a certain direction? Big banks. Remember, communicate, email to your senators, congressmen. Do not elect people who will take your financial freedom away. And according to courts, the biggest corporate holder of Bitcoin is not Square or Tesla. It is no surprise. It is MicroStrategy. They hold more than half of all cryptocurrencies on the corporate balance sheets. Currently, there are about 26 publicly traded companies holding Bitcoin, and they hold more than half of that. That's about $3.6 billion. MicroStrategy is a $3.16 billion company. They own roughly about 121,044 Bitcoins. And who knows? They could go up today when Michael Saylor buys some more. This is one of the biggest, coolest bet ever in corporate America, in my opinion. If it turns out they're going to be so wealthy, but if it doesn't, it's going to be one of the biggest mistakes. I would bet on it's going to turn out well. Cointelegraph says crypto holders may not get richer from mainstream adoption, according to Goldman Sachs. And the reason that they say this is because it's a double-edged sword in that mainstream adoption could move more money into the crypto ecosystem. At the same time, it could have more correlation with other financial markets. Like you see right now, the stock market and and Bitcoin are correlated. Stock market goes down, Bitcoin goes down. Stock market goes up, Bitcoin goes up. And so, according to Goldman Sachs, they think that correlation could increase even more. However, on the other hand, some people think that it's a simple supply and demand. Bitcoin has a limited supply, 21 million. So if more demand is there for Bitcoin, well, more demand, limited supply, price goes up. So there's always two sides to every coin, but we'll see what happens. What do I think? I think the supply and demand, that's where it's going to go long term. So there are more millionaires in the world than there are supply of Bitcoin. Think about that for a second. If each one of them decided to get one Bitcoin, guess what? Supply's gone. According to CNBC, Google Cloud Division has formed groups to build business around blockchain applications, following efforts to grow in retail, healthcare, and other industries. Well, when you're a big giant company, you need to find other sources of revenue. And this is a good move by Google. This will provide, additional developments for apps, and also for their cloud customers to be able to use blockchain easily on the cloud. And their current customers include Dapper Labs, Hedera, Theta Labs. So those companies could easily plug into the blockchain using their technology. So good move. Cardano. Massive Cardano blockchain load above 90% continue for over a week now, according to Finbold. And you can see the chart here. You can see it went 33 here in January and early January 1st, and then slowly creeped up, went sideways, creeped up, and then hung around 90 something percent. And this is like if you operate computers or things like that, there's a load percentage. 0 is where it's really low on the load, on the stress of the system, and 100 is max stress. And Cardano's, the blockchain is running at low 90s right now. And they really, probably is because, a lot of the development is increasing in Cardano, and SundaeSwap mainnet went live. However, it's concerning because if you run it at low 90s already, and the ecosystem is barely, having a lot of development on it, that's concerning. But the fact that they're hanging in there is pretty cool. I'm sure they'll figure out how to lower that load as more transactions appear on the blockchain. And they only have one DEX, SundaeSwap, currently. They maybe have 2. But as more DEXs come on, and more DeFi and more NFT and more transactions appear in the ecosystem, what's going to happen to this load if it currently runs at this level? So something to keep an eye on. But kudos to them for maintaining it. According to Reuters, exclusive China securities regulator met with foreign banks to soothe concerns, according to sources. Why would they do this? Well, there are concerns about China. The property market is, some say, is a bubble. And you can see it's unraveling with Evergrande. And so they want to appease concerns so people are not on edge and continue to contribute to investing in China. But I think China is it's a big giant bubble that's waiting to collapse, in my opinion. When that is, who knows? But it's coming. It's not a matter of if. I think it's a matter of when. Oh, Elizabeth. According to Reuters, Elizabeth Warren. Dang, she's really smart. But some of the things that she focuses on, I just don't know about her. Yeah, sure, focus on banks. But at the same time, I wonder how many banks are paying her. So Warren targets 6 more crypto miners for their energy use. Elizabeth, I so appreciate you for your concerns about the climate and poor people and people in need. I can completely empathize with you. However, Elizabeth, you going after Wells Fargo and big banks and all that stuff and holding them accountable, that's great. And that's fantastic. But however, if you go after crypto and, you want to look at energy usage, you're asking companies like Riot, Blockchain, Marathon Digital Holdings, Stronghold Digital Mining, BitDeer Group, Bitfury, and BitDigital, and questioning their extraordinary high energy usage. May I remind you, Elizabeth, that the oil industry, the gold industry use more energy than Bitcoin? In fact, Elizabeth, the banks, the traditional banks that you are so not fond of, use more energy than Bitcoin, Elizabeth. May I direct your attention to them? Okay? And in fact, a lot of the Bitcoin energy usage is shifting or has shifted to renewable energy. So I encourage you to look at that too, Elizabeth. And that's the end of our market news that could impact Bitcoin or the crypto space. Appreciate you joining. Go ahead, smash the like, ring my bell, and hit subscribe if you haven't. Appreciate your time. See you in the next video later today. Peace.